Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Ben.
Together we have 15 degrees north.
Today we're going to show you the sights and sounds of Morocco. Morocco is a country in the Maghreb, located in the northwest corner of Africa, bordering both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea.
Separated from Spain by only 8 miles of water, these countries may be close, but their cultures are miles apart.
One of the most liberal Arabic nations, Morocco is a Muslim country and is ruled by a monarchy, which was instated after its independence in 1956.
Previously, Morocco had been divided between Spain in the north and France in the south, and their influence can be seen all over the country.
We started our trip in the north, driving a loop that starts in Fez.
The second largest city in Morocco, Fez used to be its capital.
Located inland, its high altitude gives it a much cooler climate than its other cities.
Containing 2 vast and sprawling medinas, its center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is one of the world's largest urban pedestrian zones.
Known as the Mecca of the West, the city has many spiritual sites as well as their most famed landmark, the tanneries.
A tannery is where animal skins are treated to become leather, and there has been a tannery on this spot since the 9th century.
The process of creating the leather has remained unchanged since then, and today you can see the workers following the exact same traditions as their ancestors, as they have been for over 1,000 years.
Each of the pools contain dyes or liquids used for softening the skin before the hides are hung in the sun to dry.
It's a fascinating attraction, as it really does feel like stepping back in time.
However, we will warn you in advance, the tanneries stink.
And not like how people say Venice stinks when it just has a slight unpleasant aroma. This completely stinks.
If you think about it, it's a square sitting in the sun filled with dead animal matter. Of course, it's going to stink.
But we were pretty unprepared for just how bad it was going to smell.
From Fez, we head north.
If you're into ancient ruins, Volubulis is definitely worth a stop.
The ancient Carthaginian capital of that region was then expanded by the Romans. It continued to be occupied until 11th century, when it was abandoned to move the capital to Fez.
According to historical accounts, the ruins remained remarkably intact for centuries before an earthquake flattened most of the city in the 18th century.
And today it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the north, we arrive at Morocco's most Insta-famous town, Chefchaouen.
Also known as the Blue Pearl.
I wonder why.
Do you know what colour I hate?
Blue?
Ugh, hate it.
Founded in the 15th century, there are many theories as to why Chefchaouen is painted blue.
On a practical level, the colour blue is known to repel mosquitoes.
I've always loved blue.
Another theory is that blue serves a religious purpose to symbolise heaven, which is above the blue sky, and remind the people daily to lead a spiritual life.
However, some locals say that in the 1970s there was a mandate from the local government that instructed everyone in the town to paint their houses blue.
Whichever is the truth,
and I suspect that it's probably a combination of all the above,
the result is something really quite stunning.
I'm blue, dabba-dee dabba-die, dabba-dee dabba-die, dabba-dee dabba-die. I'm blue.
We absolutely loved exploring all the quaint little streets of Chefchaouen.
It's not really about the monuments here, but instead immersing yourself in the gorgeous shades of blue that are on every building facade in the Medina.
Despite its hot climate, the color most associated with Morocco is blue, and Chefchaouen typifies exactly why.
There's a reason we call it Moroccan blue in the UK.
Well, in France there is a shade called Maghreb, which we will encounter in abundance later in Marrakesh.
The best thing to do in Chefchaouen is just wander the streets and take as many photos as possible and flood fill your friends' Instagram feeds with gorgeous blue pictures.
Just like we did.
Next, we head to the Atlantic coast, visiting first the country's capital, Rabat.
By no means the country's largest city, it is however its administrative centre, with all the government buildings located here.
It has a small medina inside a kasbah perched above the sea, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
And beyond these walls, Rabat is a gleaming modern city with wide boulevards, modern architecture and lush green spaces.
It's a 21st century city that feels nothing like the rest of Morocco at all.
Now our way is Casablanca.
Famed in the Anglo world for the classic movie of the same name, its filming location, Rick's Bar, can be visited if you're dressed appropriately.
But we weren't, so we didn't.
Casablanca's main attraction is the Hassan II Mosque, which is Africa's largest and includes the second largest minaret in the entire world, which is 60 stories high.
Completed in 1993, it sits in a plaza on a promontory jutting out into the Atlantic Ocean.
Altogether, the mosque and the plaza have a capacity for 105,000 people.
And its scale really does have to be seen to be believed.
Well, the clouds have rolled in from the Atlantic Sea, which we're thrilled about.
Yep.
We didn't come to Africa just to have some European clouds.
No, not European clouds, British clouds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, April here, right now is like April in Britain.
Yeah. We close the loop of our road trip by heading back towards Fez.
But not before stopping in the mountains nearby to drop in on some Barbary macaques living in the wild.
Roaming free in the forest, this species can only be found in 2 locations in the entire world, here in the Atlas Mountains and on the Rock of Gibraltar.
Docile, friendly and inquisitive, it is definitely worth coming to hang out with these little dudes.
Fez and northern Morocco makes for a really interesting road trip.
We then ventured to Marrakesh and the south, which you can see in our next video, but as you've hopefully seen, the north is definitely worth your time too.
And why not end your trip like we did and sleep in an actual cave in the mountains?
I've always fancied being a troglodyte.
Thanks for watching
Be sure to like, share and subscribe.
and follow us on Instagram at 15 degrees north.
Make sure to tune in to our next video to see where in the world we end up next.
See ya!
Bye!